they start to look different once you see them
Oh,
truly.
the release that comes through tears, you guys. I know this probably looks like, oh, that looks sad. Well, embracing our emotions is important. Okay, I know that a lot of us, we have had to be so strong. We've come from cultures that kind of looks at that like weaknesses and all of that, but it's just energy and motion, and it allows the energy of water, the emotions to move. It's embracing and owning your experience. Now, what am I talking about with this particular video? Let's see. Well, thank you for viewing. Thank you for watching here on TikTok at Blooming Light or YouTube at Blooming Light. And chances are, if this has made its way to your For You page, well, there just might be something in this for you. If not, no big deal. Okay? It's the name of the game in social media, right? All right. So I've shared with many people over my lifespan in different situations and connections and relationships that I've had that, believe it or not, at some point in a dynamic, especially romantic relationships, even if I was like, let's say I was extremely attracted to them, extremely turned on by them, head over heels, like those old sayings, head over heels in love, or whatever the case may be, at some point of the connection. And let's say they are physically attractive, okay? For me, now I can't speak for everybody, Avi, okay? But just for me, and chances are people that are maybe even very similar to me. All of that attractiveness, all of that heat, all of that desire, all of that fire goes down the drain.
Once the illusion fades.
Once, and it's not just once someone does something wrong. No, that's a little narcissistic, isn't it? That's typically what narcissists do when you're not living up to their perfected idealization version of you, which no one will ever mount up 24/7. Hence, they need people who have enough low self esteem that's willing to continue that chaotic, psychotic cycle of abuse. Do your own research on that. Okay? So it's not about the moment someone does something wrong, the moment there's a difficulty, the moment there's a challenge, the moment. It's not about that. It's if there's been a consistency of mistreatment, if there's been a consistency of invalidation of my thoughts and of my feelings, and if it has progressed to where they become more and more insensitive to how I feel or how their behavior is affecting how I feel or my emotions, then at that point, I don't know what goes off inside. I don't know what happens, but that individual starts to become less and less appealing to me. They start to look less and less attractive. I start to feel like okay, what did I even want with that? What did I even want to do with that? What did I see? Because it changes my own perception of the person on a whole scale. I've said this before. It doesn't matter how foxy somebody is, how hot somebody is. It don't matter how slamming their body is. It doesn't matter even how slamming their wallet is for someone like me. Yeah, I know. Some of us would take abuse if the price is right. Once upon a time, I might have been there when I was young. But now, since I value my own energy, my health, and my well being, that of my son and our lives, that's just no longer the case. I take meager means any day than to stay in something that is tearing away at my heart and soul, and that I cry every day, or I feel alone every day while I'm fully with someone. So, collective, think about this for 2024. We're all in the year of review. I hear this is the year of Saturn. And so it's going to be that year of you better be on your mark, okay? Because it's not going to be this delayed effect where you can act a zip damn fool for the entire year and maybe not get no repercussions until 3 years later. Things are changing. It shouldn't really take that as the threat. You better do right. That is the lower mind. That is the more primitive nature. So those who are refusing to ascend and heal, sure, that's going to be how it has to happen. But for the rest of us, it's looking at these things and just realizing, hey, in 2024, we're going to evaluate things for what it is, and we're not going to push, we're not going to force, and we're certainly not going to continue to subject ourselves to things that are making you like what you're looking at this screen. If you're crying in tears of sadness more than happiness, they're not the people for you. Whether that is friends, family, or lovers. Okay? Now, with that being said, attractiveness, all these things, this external stuff. Oh, they got a good job. Oh, they helped me out, because there's people in these here streets, they're buying bitches outfits to go on dates, and that can look very appealing. Like, oh, he must really love you. Not so much, dear. Okay. Or they're willing to pay for childcare, and they're willing to buy your children medication, and they're willing to do all these things. And so I can see how we would fall into that, because who's going to go through such great lengths? But again, sometimes this is all people have to win people over, because when it comes to integrity, longevity, and sincerity, it's not there. So all some of these people have is their sex, their looks, or their wallet. Okay? To get people to open up and take their guard down and to believe that they're whole, that they're grounded, that they're legitimate. This is another reason why I recommend the holistic approach to relationships. Okay? And don't get me wrong, we all fall short in this, even the smartest and sharpest of us, because again, the illusions, right? And who wants to just believe that people aren't up to snuff or aren't well or would have the capacity to really do some serious damage to you? Nobody wants to just believe that. We all want to believe that humans are decent. But what we must accept is some are just simply, when I say not well, I don't mean this in the way maybe some are taking it. Energetically well, psychologically well, emotionally well, or aware. And for someone that's not well and unaware that they're not well, they're dangerous. Hence, narcissism. Because in their sense of delusion, they don't see that. It's justified. However they treat you is justified to them. Okay? So this is why I shared with someone not long ago that, well, a person becomes unattractive to me. At that point, when they show themselves to be a jerk, when they show themselves reveal fully, it starts to turn the other way. Okay? And just know and understand that. There's many people that operate that way as well. It's really time for those of us that are past a certain age, and this is just how I feel my resonance. If it's not you, fair enough, do you, boo. Okay? But if we are past a certain age, it's time for us to long get over this external shit. Whether that is social climbing, stat chasing, you know what I'm saying? Keeping up with the Joneses, the Kardashians, looks, money, that being the theme of what can steer us any direction at any given moment. This is why there are many in tears right now, because, well, everything that glitters isn't gold. We need to stop being so easily bought and sold. We also need to get a little bit more depth to who we are. We may be partnering and sleeping with the enemy of our well-being, because if they're not well, you can't expect them to treat you well.